Okay, I want to talk a little bit about patterns. I'm going to do a really super simple pattern. These clay shapes were made out of from a pasta grinder. I put them through the pasta grinder and then laid saran wrap in order to keep them from sticking together. So it allows a kind of ready-made, ready-to-go line. And I'm taking just 3 random colors. I have no design attachment. These aren't black, orange, and kidney bean, whatever this would be called. It's kind of a very ugly brown red strange color. Pink, kind of a ugly pink. So patterns. The first thing would be to put 3 colors together. And what I really find fascinating is that when you do pattern making, you can rebox. So first I want to make a giant square, and then I'm going to pattern that square more kind of like a plaid. That's my plan, at least. We'll see how it turns out. And then so I'm going to cut off this excess. It's not going to get used this time. I'm going to make these very large patterns, so this is again for sake of visibility. So here's your sandwich of color, and put it back on itself, and that creates a kind of sandwich of pattern. There you go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and box this up by cutting off some excess, because this pattern is just keep it clean, put something to work with. These things can make nice random excess colors later. Okay. First thing I want to try is to cut it in halves to allow multiple pieces to work against each other. I want to make sure I have the identical amount of things. So here I'm going to make 8 pieces. This is the easiest, simplest form of pattern making. These are going to be boxes. Okay. And the key ingredient to pattern making is, of course, to go 90 degrees. This makes a plaid. So I go 90 degrees with every other box. Gets pushed, gets flipped. So it's 90 degrees from each other box. So this one goes this way. That one goes up and down. And I want to make sure that the black stays the same. That one's reversed, so I'm going to do it this way. Is that reversed? Let's look. Nope. That was right. There you go. That way. And this way. Now this goes like that. This goes up like that. Okay. So you have a plaid, a beginning of a plaid. You can obviously, if you had a lot more of this material, usually I work on smaller patterns than this. Again, I'm doing this because it's visible and easy to understand. You cut it and you quickly can make a lot of pattern awful quick. So one thing about this is, as I'm cubing it, is I'm thinking now, oh, I'd like to cube it more. It's too bad I don't have, I'm not going to make them pure squares. I'm going to have to make them, I'm going to cut it into 4, because really what I want to do is cut it in half and then half each half, so it's in quarters. It's not quite what lines up, but it's, it's all right. They're not cubes, pure cubes. They're a little bit rectangular. All right, so here's the thing. You want to take this and flip it. So the opposite side lines up with the opposite side of this. This is actually making every cube alternate with every other cube inside this block right now. And this is just one of the coolest things I think about this medium, is this kind of quick, fast pattern making. Alright, so now you have this cube of texture which can be cut from any angle, and a lot of beautiful rhythmic motion is going to be exploding out of this thing from any direction you cut it. But the key of what I wanted to show you is I want to cut this on a 45-degree angle. Like, I want to now diamond the entire thing. So you can see the kind of exciting patterns now that come out. But what's fun about it is you take this as a 45 through what is otherwise a 90-degree cube on all sides. It's a double 45. And you actually move one side and line it up with the other. And you see these two sides? They exactly are the opposite of each other. So it continues the pattern all the way through it. And not to be finished with this, I do it again, only this time I'm going to cut it straight. As I cut it straight, it cubes back on itself, which I just love to watch. So it all lines up again. And lastly, I wanted to get it to cube one more time. I cut it one more time, and there it is. It's a block of texture that's animating any direction you cut it. Everything is both coherent and moving at the same time inside of it. So I would, ideally I'd actually kind of want to cut it this way, because I think this is more recognizable, but each one of these quadrants will be appearing and disappearing at a slanted angle, which is what's kind of cool to watch. That's texture making 101. There's a lot of other cool ideas about texture, but that's at least a start.